Hello, everybody. I wanted to make a different type of video today. This one is gonna be a more uh straight up video than usual. This one's not gonna be edited that much or anything. It's just gonna be me telling a story with some gameplay in the background. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy this kind of content too and don't find it boring or anything. I just wanted to make something a little bit more calmed down, if you know what I mean. So basically, I wanted to tell a story about this teacher that I had in 7th grade, Mrs. T or Miss T. I don't know. She was well, I don't like to sugarcoat things, so I'm just gonna straight up say she was a bitch. So yeah, basically this story is about it takes place the day after Halloween, so November 1st. Halloween was like a Thursday, so we had to go to school the next day, which is always the fucking worst. It's like, I don't want to go to school the next day because I'm gonna have like a fucking sugar hangover. I don't want to go to school the next day. Please don't make me. But of course we had to because it was school. So my day was a normal day, for the most part. My Miss T's class was math in fourth period. Yeah. Um, and so my morning went normally, like perfectly normally, and then when I got to my fourth period, Miss T's class, she was standing outside the door with like a fucking like one of those little crates with all the holes in them. Like the storage crates with all the holes all over them. I don't know what they're called, like Swiss cheese crates or some bullshit. I don't fucking know. But basically, she was standing outside of the classroom with one of those, and I was there like a couple minutes late because I had to run across like part of the school. Another big problem with that school is that I would have times where I would have a class halfway or like the entire on the entire other side of the school, and I would have to like walk all the way to the other side of the school in like the span of like a minute because the school was like, if you're a minute, if like the passing time between the classes was only like 2 minutes long, which was absolutely not enough time. But anyways, that was off topic. Um, Basically, I got to Miss T's class like a little bit late, just by like they hadn't been fully let into the class yet, but it was like late enough to have been like late to something, if you know what I mean. Um, but they were still letting people into the class. So Miss T was, like I said, was standing outside the door with one of those fucking Swiss cheese crates, and she was telling everybody to like put a piece of candy in the crate to be let into the class. And well, I didn't give her a piece of candy for two reasons. One, I had already eaten all the candy that I'd taken into the school that morning because I'd only brought in like a few pieces. Like I brought in like two Kit Kats and two things of Smarties, and that was all I had brought in for candy for the day. Um, so I had already eaten it by then, and the second reason is that's bullshit. You can't force me to give you my property. Like, especially when it's something as stupid as candy. Like, if I were using my phone in the middle of class and you asked me for my phone to give me your phone, like, or that's reasonable. That's reasonable. You're allowed to do that, but you're not allowed to just force. Like, you're basically robbing your entire class. That's literally what she was doing, except with candy for some reason. And so I was like, no, I'm not going to give you candy, mostly because I don't have any. And then the other students were like handing me lollipops, like, here, just take this and put it in the basket. And I'm like, no, if I'm gonna take that from you, I'm gonna eat it myself. I'm not giving it to the teacher for no goddamn reason. So, long story short, she was like, okay, fine, then you can't come into the classroom. Go sit next to the door. And I was like, okay, fine. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Because I wasn't going to give her a piece of my candy for no reason. Like, she had no right to just be telling us to give her a piece of candy. So, I sat next to the door, probably like, I can't remember exactly what I did, but I probably just went on my phone and checked social media or something. And then the vice principal, or one of the vice principals, there were like two, she walked by, and she looked at me and went, hey, are you in trouble or something? And I'm like, no, I didn't give the teacher a piece of candy, so she wouldn't let me inside the class. And the vice principal was like, gave me like this look of like, what the fuck? And then she said, I'll go talk to the teacher. And lo and behold, about just like a couple minutes later, not even like 5 minutes, just like really like not that far later, she came back out with the teacher, and the teacher like looked at me like super fucking pissed, like she was pissed off at me for something that I did, and was like, come in the class. And I was like, dude, that's not my fault. You're the one who was asking me for bullshit. So, like, I'm surprised. She said that she had been doing that for years up until this point, and her reasoning was that her niece was like had passed away a couple days before Halloween or something, and she wasn't able to go trick or treating in her life. So she's like, so basically, her excuse was, my niece died before Halloween, so wasn't able to get candy. So that somehow means that I am allowed to steal other people's candy on like the day after Halloween. So I was like, well, that's bullshit. I was like, listen, I'm sorry for your loss, but that's no reason to be taking other people's candy. Like, you could just go trick-or-treating yourself if you want to, but you can't just go around taking other people's candy. Like, what the fuck is that bullshit? Not to mention that teacher was just not even that smart of a math teacher. She was, like, a common math teacher with being like, do the math my way or you're an idiot, basically. Like, I even remember at one point I had, like, done the work and I'd gotten the answer right, but I showed my work differently than how it was supposed to be done. So then she marked it as a 0. So yeah, basically, all in all, she like was just a shitty ass teacher. So, it was bound to happen that someone was gonna stand up to her bullshit. Because the thing is that with me, listen, man, I don't stand up for bullshit. Or I do stand up for bullshit. If there's bullshit going on, I'm gonna say something about it. You can't get away with, like, telling me to do some random bullshit thing. Because I'm not gonna be keen with that at all. I'm just not that kind of person. If someone's telling me to, like, do a very bullshit thing, then I'm not even gonna like do it at all. So yeah, I just wanted to make that. I just wanted to tell that story because it was an interesting story, and I like doing calmer videos from time to time. I don't know. So yeah, like and subscribe the video if you like them, or like and subscribe if you like and subscribe the video. It's funny how sometimes I fucking forget my outro, and then sometimes I say it, but I say it wrong. You know what? Whatever. It's fine. Yeah. See you in the next video where I eat concrete powder.